she rattled off her score to me, and I don't know how things have changed. Have they changed the numbers, or are they still, have they changed? Like, what's a good size number?
I don't know.
Yeah, she was like in the 1400s. Yeah. See, and this set me back in a big way, because I was like, stop. I was trying to support her, but they suck so bad at this age that she's like, how'd you do? What'd you do, Dad? The guy who can sing all the lyrics to Jesse's Girl in 8675309, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm holding out for a hero. You know every word to that one, too. So I said to her, I don't know what I got on my SATs. And she said, well, what about your SATs? I go, I don't know what I got on my SATs. She said, you're lying. I go, I'm not lying. She said, well, why don't you know? And I go, because my mother came home that day and said it was so bad she would rather not talk about it. Now look, whatever. Here's the interesting thing about this. I gave myself a pat on the back for being honest. I was honest. That's what happened. My mother came home. She took back a Triumph record she had just bought from me at Caldor the night before. I lost that one. I'd Fight the Good Fight on it. Had Magic Power on it. It was a good one. She took it back and said, she was crying. She's like, I can't even talk about it. It's so bad. But you know what? So the kids delighted in this. They have a weird dance that's like from the movie Midsummer. Anyone see that? It was very creepy. It's a creepy little ritualistic dance where they're smarter than Daddy. And I thought to myself, my mother didn't want to tell me that I fucking killed it. That's it. Am I lying to myself? She didn't want to tell me. I think that's why. It took me years. She came home, she's like, I can't even say what the number is. It's so bad. She didn't want to come home and say, is it possible? You got a 2800. Is that possible? Is that not possible? What's the highest? Is it only 16? Shit, Stella might actually have some potential. I think I got a 2800. That's my argument with them right now. But listen, all hope is not lost. Everybody says to me, they come back. Anybody here have kids who went through you're on the other side already, right? They're 21, they're 22, 23, and they come back and they're your besties, right? And it's really only because you're drinking with them. Especially the moms I hear from are like, Vanny, get through it. When they're 23, my daughter's like my best friend now. I know, I see on your Facebook, you guys drill Chardonnay together 3 nights a week. She came back around, she's your drinking partner. But I dig it, and I'm ready for them to come back around. Although at the same time, I don't know if I want them to come back around because it's such a struggling time. But I will leave you on this with this one last thought. So we try to have all these traditions. I've tried to incorporate all these different traditions, and one of them is every year before the holidays, I would take them both to a show at the Mohegan Sun, and we stay all weekend, and we pick out a candle at Yankee Candle for the Christmas, to burn for the Christmas season, and then the one that smells like a Christmas tree. One year we got one that was called Santa's Pipe, which Luke really had a lot of fun with. Santa's Pipe. That was another thing, interestingly, that happened overnight. Okay, you know, I didn't plan on sharing this story with you really quickly. This is how quickly shit happens. This is me going off the grid now. Maybe we shouldn't tape this one. You know, it was only a year ago that I was watching Silence of the Lambs. I don't know how well you remember that movie. And Luke came into the room. That's weird that you would be like, he ate people. That is my jam. Hannibal. That's weird that you got very, but it's great. It held up. And Luke came walking in the room, and I don't want to be, overly crass here, but he was 12 years old at the time. And it was the scene where Clarice, played by Jodie Foster, who won an Oscar for it, her second Oscar for it, is walking by a guy who's clearly pleasuring himself. And Luke came walking in, 12 years old right at that time, and it was, and Luke goes, and you know how the scene ends, but the guy finishes and throws it, and I'm sorry, I didn't plan on. But hey, let's just be organic. Why not? Maybe you could order up some clam chowder. Good for the morning, delicious. And Luke goes, what is that guy what is he doing? He legit didn't know. Legit didn't know at 12 years old. Let me tell you something. By the time I was 12 years old, I don't think we had a washcloth. There were one-use washcloths in my house. And I go, oh, it's a scary movie, Luke. I don't think you want to watch it. He goes, but what's the guy doing? And the whole thing through it. And he legit didn't know. And I thought, well, this is wonderful. He's holding on to an innocence. He's 12 years old. Here it is 1 year later. He's 13 now. I guess that teenage fairy shows up when they turn 13. And I had the remotes out just 2 weeks ago. And I was trying to find Dracula. There's a new series, Dracula, out on the BBC. And I texted Luke, where's BBC? I wondered who would laugh at this joke. And Luke responded, I bet you are wondering where BBC is. Gets that joke. The ones who do it, you're really telling a whole lot about yourselves. Just a handful of guys, much like myself, don't feel bad, guys. But I just sat there like, yeah, Jen, hey, stop dragging into Bryan Adams concerts. BBC, I won't get into it, but in 1 year's time, he's like, and then he followed it up with, you love BBC too, don't you, Dad? And I'm like, in 1 year's time, I just want to watch Dracula on the British Broadcasting Corporation? I'm not really sure. Channel? I don't think it's channel. I don't think it's channel. What are you guys watching, Doctor Who? Nonetheless, I will end it on this note. So we had our little tradition, and Santa's Pipe was a funny one, and every year, for 10 years, we would go to our show at Mohegan Sun in November, and we would go to Yankee Candle and we'd get that candle. We went this year, and I didn't push them, because they are in the zone. They're in the zone of TikTok and FaceTime and isolation, and you're nowhere near as funny as you think you are, and hashtag dad jokes. I don't get that. They show me dad jokes, and I'm like, this dude's fucking funny. Why are you guys laughing at him? And then she shows me, my daughter will show me stuff her friends do, and I'm like, it's not funny. I don't really get it. So I did my thing, they did their thing, met back at the room. I took a shower. When I came out, there was a Yankee Candle bag waiting on the bed for me. And when I walked over to it, they were both looking at it. And when I walked up to it, I went, but why would you do it without me? I didn't know how bad I would want to pick it with you. And I was extra. But thank you all very much for coming out. Especially all of you straight old faces. Of course, we need a truck with the license plate AU56064.